Ms. Hegar,
Yes.
2020 has been highlighted by people coming together and calling for equality. These messages include ending what they call systemic racism. What does systemic racism mean to you? You have 30 seconds.
So there are examples of systemic racism throughout. Healthcare disparities. In the PPP loans, 95% of minority-owned businesses didn't receive the help that they needed. It's not because there is one racist person twisting their mustache. It is a system that is built against them, that they don't have the networks and the relationships built with accountants and attorneys and access to business capital. It's a complex issue. There is systemic racism in this country. The policing reforms that we need are a symptom of a deeper problem that we have to look at.
Ms. Hegar, can you take 15 seconds and tell me, have you looked inward and thought about maybe your own biases?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've been through extensive implicit bias training, and everyone has implicit bias. When Hegar Cornyn said for systemic racism to exist, every cop had to be a racist, I don't know that he's ever been through that type of eye-opening training. So I believe it's pervasive throughout our entire country.
Thank you. Senator Cornyn, what does systemic racism mean to you? You have 30 seconds.
Well, I've been trying to ask that same question. People, you ask them, what does that mean? And they have different definitions. They say, well, it's structural. I said, well, I believe in personal responsibility, and I believe that I try to treat every human being with the dignity and respect that they deserve. Look, slavery was one of this country's original sins. We paid a terrible price over many years. Civil War, civil rights movement, and people like George Floyd losing their life unjustifiably. We've got work to do, but we can't do it when people won't talk to each other.
Now, Senator, I asked Ms. Hegar this question. I'll ask you. Have you looked inward and identified maybe some biases that you have? Have you thought about that?
I try to do that all the time. I don't claim to be perfect, but I don't believe I'm a racist. I don't believe Ms. Hegar's a racist. And to me, when they suggest that somehow this is not a matter of individual responsibility, but it somehow is systemic, that just doesn't ring true to me.